I do not believe college athletes should be paid due to these three reasons. That it would be a struggle to pay them equally through sports, paid through scholarships, and that they would lose their amateur status. Um, though I am a college athlete myself, and yes, it would be nice to be paid, I just don't think it is logical for us to be paid. It would hurt the university, and in some ways, it would hurt the player themselves. And the first topic I'll be talking about is the equal pay part. Now, basketball and football for D1 universities makes billions of dollars for their sport, or for their school. Everyone knows that. Um, the problem is, if we were to pay them, you'd have to pay them the same amount as, say, I don't know, swimmers or baseball, who do not bring in as much revenue as those two main sports. And if you were to make that equal, it would not be fair to the two sports who are bringing in all the money. Now, you also couldn't pay football and basketball more because it is not the baseball player's fault or the swimmer's fault or the, I don't know, tennis players' fault that they do not get more fans and more revenue. They put the same amount of work into their sport to get to where they are at. Now, if they could figure out a way, I just think it's too complicated for them to figure out a way for everyone to be happy with the situation of the amount of money they're being paid. Um, Now, the second reason why it wouldn't make sense is paid through scholarships. Um, your most college athletes, not most, I want to say a lot of college athletes get paid through scholarships in one way or another, whether they get their books paid for, whether they get their meals paid for, whether they're on a full ride. It just depends on where you're at and what school and what sport you play. So most of the time, in one way or another, you are getting paid already. Now, according to Forbes, depending on what university these players attend, people that receive full rides, such as football players and basketball players who are making the big deal about being paid to begin with, they're making $50,000 to $125,000 per year already. This comes through being trained, the training they receive, the nutrition, and the room and board, and academics. So full ride players are already making $50,000 to $125,000 per year, which is quite a bit, which is more than teachers make in a lot of states, which is more than a lot of jobs make. So they're already making a decent chunk of change for playing their sport. And sports is also an extracurricular activity, which is a privilege to play for some of these universities. That, I mean, it's a big deal just to get to play for them. It shouldn't be done just for hopefully to get paid. Now, the third big reason is losing amateur status. Now, this doesn't sound like a big deal, or it doesn't sound like it could cause a lot of problems, but it could influence the sports in different ways, whether that be sponsorship issues. You could easily have, if you start to pay college athletes could also start getting sponsorships through, whether that be drinks, and start doing commercials or making money other ways. And that could be problematic because it could interfere with the school's own sponsorships. So their own players could clash with their own schools. So, like, they could get an Under Armour deal and their school is sponsored by Nike. One way or another, one company is going to be hurt by this happening, and the school will definitely be hurt because they won't be following the school's rules. In the off season, they could play professional overseas, which could cause them to get hurt, which would put money to waste for the universities, such as baseball players going to Puerto Rico to get paid and to play over the summers, or basketball going to Europe to play. And losing amateur status just isn't good. In conclusion, I believe college athletes should not be paid. There's just too many downsides. There's a lot more than what I have explained. And yeah, they should not be paid.